Yeah, that's what I want. Looks cool. That. Alrighty, real quick, just want to say thanks to everybody for coming. We're going to start the preview here in just a bit. Obviously, waiting for Kings to end, push us back just a little bit, and Kennedy's getting here, set it up, and finished up. Those of you consigners, you've already got some of you lined up. Make sure you pay attention to the preview order. The preview order is going to be important. Blake's going to have the consigner name and tag numbers listed whenever those pigs are in the pen. And then we've got girls, my wife, and some kids back there that are going to drive these things for us. I just need you to get them up here into the pens in the order, make sure everything's ready to roll. And then as soon as we start, we're going to do this as efficiently as we can. Myself, Matt Murdoch, will be kind of introducing every consigner. And then we've got Todd Byers and Will Winter going to do some commentary for us and talk these things, give their honest opinion of how they think they're going to feed, what they're seeing, and what their opinions are. So bear with us just a little bit longer. We're going to get Blake to get this thing fired up and get the graphic finalized, and then we'll get rolling. This does it here for me. Alrighty, Taylor and the girls in the back. Let's roll them in here. First up is going to be F2 Genetics. It's going to be Trey and Johnny Flores. Those are some good friends of ours from down in this part of the world. And in the last couple of years, we've grown to be very, very close. Trey's brought a few pigs here from the very beginning. Always normally brings out a red one. That's what he did this year. The first year we had the Syndicate right here in this building, in this very spot. And he brought the skinniest, longest necked red one that I've ever seen. And I was just like, man, what are we going to do here? And he's like, oh, he'll feed, he'll do fine. That thing sells, he sells well, goes to San Antonio, wins a class, and gets a piece of a division there in the Barra Show. And so I stood by him ever since. Those red ones that he brings, he's confident in. They've done well for him. This first one here is going to be tag 23. The preview order is not going to be in any specific order related to the sale order. We're just going to kind of roll them through here efficiently. But this will be tag 23. This pig's going to be a Quivers, which is a boar there, bought at PT, I believe, by Campbell on a backfire pack and heat sow. The gilt litter out of this sow was a competitive litter last fall. Grandma would be our pack and heat sow, who was a litter mate to the SA 2022 class winner. That we just had talked about, sold here 2 years ago. And Quivers is a pack and heat, set the curve sister. So a little bit lined up deal on the pack and heat side of things, but a very small red one. Just kind of look in and study close and let these guys see what they think.
To start this preview off with, Johnny's done a very good job putting this red one together. I mean, Johnny, I know, does a lot of work at the house and making these things good. And we know Trey, shows up when it's time for the lights to come on, but we know who all does the work at the house. And this red one's dang sure testament of what Johnny gets done. I mean, this one's body shape is very good, proportional. Looks like he's an easy feeding one. My hat's off to the Flores crew, Johnny in particular. I think he did an awfully good job. Trey, thanks for showing up on time today for the sale.
Alrighty, next one in here is going to be Evan Show Pig. That's going to be a younger firm from Brownwood, Texas. Somebody that kind of Marius got hooked up with me. The Evans family is known for showing competitive barrows from the Marius crew. They've done well in the Gilt and Barrow ring, both alike. They bought a couple of bred sows here a couple years ago and kind of tapped into the Wintex deal. So that's what's going to be on the bottom side of this thing. This is going to be tag 3 from Evan Show Pigs. This is going to be a top shelf JFM on a Birkenhoff sow. So this will be Monsters Littermate Sister.
So a sow here that originated at the Wintex firm, but one here that certainly looks the part. I mean, that's a hairy, dense little guy there. Neat little Berkshire, looks like has a wide feeding window to me from, potentially smaller one there in February to on into March. Neat little bear there from the Evans crew, certainly backed by a good sow herd there, the Wintex firm.
Roddy, would you mind working that gate for me? Perfect. Zach, can you jump down and work that gate for me right there on the outside? You want to look at it, that's the best spot in the house, so there you go, thanks. Alrighty, the next set in here is going to be Camel Farms, a new consignor to the Syndicate this year, but a good buddy and someone that we've known for a long time. And again, another family that's known for raising and showing both competitive livestock in the Gilt and Barrow rings. The one they start off here is going to be tag 37. This will be a Chester male. This is going to be Orbit on Chloe. Chloe's going to be Self-Ambition sister. Obviously, from a buyer's deal, if you follow that program, you know how potent that is. And he's bought a couple of bred sows and obviously tapped into some boars here recently, too. Brought us a pair of them, but we'll start off with the Chester. This will be a buyer's bred purchase. Mother will be First Takes Mate's sister. Tag 37 in the ring now.
Amanda's no stranger to making good pigs. She does a very good job year in and year out. And this Chester was one that got all these pigs out last night individually. Is one that I thought was very, very neat. Obviously, that sow originated from buyers, but them Campbells have done a very good job of taking those elite purchases and still following a good plan and program and making good pigs. And this Chester's dang sure one that fits the bill. Very, very elite looking. My hat's off to the Campbell crew. Amanda especially, good job. I think this is a very, very good Chester pig.
All righty, the next one that we're going to roll in here is going to be tag 38. Be a Duroc male. That'll be a Quivers. Pack and Heat 76 majority. Is that what Pack and Heat's pedigree is, I guess? But Quivers, again, is a Duroc board that Campbell tapped into there and put a lot of confidence in. And again, I haven't seen just a whole bunch of them, but I know the guys that use that board are pretty pleased with the way those things are feeding. Another good little red one, but a wise guy once told me if you just read red ones in terms of flexibility and stoutness and feature at the ground, everything will kind of come. And this one I think has the pieces. Got to read some future into this one, but again, this will be Campbell Farms tag 38, Quivers on draft pick.
Yeah, to reiterate what Matt just said, this one looks like he can feed for a while. Very, very good bodied, athletic. One that looks like he just needs a little time and a little more feed. Like I said, both these pigs I think have come together with a plan and a purpose. This one here looks like he can feed for a while and show for an extended period of time. Another very good prospect here in this red one. Congratulations to Amanda and the Campbell firm.
All right, next in here is going to be the Mares crew. Hunter Mares and Jaime and the whole firm there in Brownwood. Again, obviously we roll with Mares pretty frequently, and go to his sale last weekend. He puts on a next-gen sale, and again, a big group of us are really good friends, and Hunter's obviously a part of that. We have a lot of confidence in what he brings here. He's brought pigs that feed here, bears that place at majors every year from this sale. And again, obviously had the high seller there at Texas Elite. Most importantly, this year, Hunter and that whole firm and Zach and the whole crew, they really dove off. They took a pretty big bite and kind of dove in the deep end there and said, we want to do something different. We want to make them better, and we're going to invest. And they did that in terms of facilities. They did that in terms of a sow herd and putting some incredible females from some of these bred sales and some very, very big elite firms. And I think it shows here. Again, another small one, but that's a very, very neat little pig. I'm proud that Hunter brought us a pair of them. This is going to be tag 1. This will be a buckle up, backdrop dirty. The sow raised a $15,000 gilt last year out of that litter that she had last year. So again, tag 1 from Mares will be a buckle up, backdrop dirty.
Hunter brings us one here that I think's got a neat future, and if you know Hunter's pigs, most of the time them things are a little greener early, but them things feed extremely well. That one's good built, and he's got big feet. He's got a neat look up front. Looks like one that's got the right kind of maturity pattern to grow and continue to do what he needs to do. I think that's a neat little show pig there, sired by Buckle Up. Obviously, them things have sold extremely well here this fall. Going to be interesting to see where them things end up. That's a neat little bear there. Hunter brings us there in lot 1.
The next one we're popping in here next is going to be lot 2. And guys, if you've got a pin of them, that are, especially if they're pinned together, let's try and roll those together, make things kind of efficient. But tag 2 is going to be a backdrop, knock. That sow is going to be a mate to the high seller at Next Gen. Again, that sale that Hunter put on last weekend there in Brownwood, Texas, is one that's kind of small, but it's one of our favorites that we go to and get to hang out and kick back, and a good set of little pigs. Obviously, lots of sales last weekend, but there's a couple of them that received very well, and the one that he sells there was obviously received there by a couple of good families. I had him on my short list and let some people know that was the one to feed, and this one I think is better. I looked at him in the pen in the nursery, or in some pens in the other barn last weekend, and told him, I said, man, if we can get this thing whip broke, get him out here, he might be small, but he's fuzzy, he's stout, and he's dialed in today. And again, some that are going to feed for a pretty big while, or for a pretty long while. Obviously, you have to show a little bit later in the year, but some that obviously have some future and lots of upside potential. This would be tag 2, backdrop, knock. All right, the next crew is going to be 4F. That'll be Cleve and Cooper Ford. They're from Weslaco, so way deep in South Texas. And, again, the Ford crew is, obviously said this a couple of times, but a family that's, dove in pretty deep in terms of investing in a sow herd very early on whenever they started to want to raise some of their own for their kids to show. Cleve has fed a lot of good pigs from us and some firms in the country. He's tapped into a lot of elite sows, some of these bred sales. This is going to be tag 76. This is going to be a roll call, Building Speed on Building Speed's sister. The sow originated from Brockman, like I said, as a bred. Raised a class winner at Houston 22, the champion Division 1 other cross there at San Antonio in 20, and a second place in Houston for Cameron Mason in 21.
Chromed up bear here that looks like he's a very, very immature one. Looks like he's Still got lots of upside to him. The roll calls look like they've fed well in terms of just lateness and maturity. This one here looks like he fits the bill from that regard. One that looks like he just needs to fleshen up, and with time going on, and obviously the eliteness of that sow family, you'll see some good results in this one. I like this. I think this pig here is just one that just needs to get cut and get fed. Looks like a good pig here.
The next two we're going to roll in together. That'll be tagged 77 and 78. 77 will be the belted one there, and 78 will be the predominantly black Barra. 77 is going to be a cartel money. That's going to be a tricked out son on Snafu's mom. Again, the Cleve family Cleve Ford's family tapped into a board there in a partnership deal last year. It'll be cartel money, no intro, stay classy. First set of cartel money pigs have been extra good and received very well. The no intro sales is a litter mate to the class winning Barra at State Fair in 22.
A very good-looking pair that's up here now and look like they're better. Good feeding size. Both of these are heavy-duty and dense and good in terms of their hip design. The Black Barrow, obviously, if you got some of those divisions that have those, that one fits into lots of different places. Sharp-looking and extra heavy-duty and dense. The little chromed-up one they're going across looks like he's bendy and still athletic and immature, heavy-duty and good body. Good pair of pigs here from the 4F crew.
So 77, 78, I didn't read the pedigree on 78. The black one will be 78. That'll be a Snafu next intention. So 77 is cartel money, 78 Snafu. Alrighty, the next one in here is a guy that really got Tether and I and our whole family started in the pig business. He's a very good friend of ours and one that we still call to the day whenever we ever hit a speed bump, whether it's in the Farron House or a feeding program or just want a different opinion. Doug's been the one to do it. He's bailed us out more than one time whenever it comes to the Farron House and trying to get some of those pigs out. And Holly both. Holly's running around here taking pictures for us for some promotional stuff. But they just brought one to us. They brought a Chester male last year that was received very well and got along just fine. Texas Majors will be tagged 47. It's going to be a smoke, which is a lackey boar there at Laird's and on a clean living sow. The mother is a 66 liter, and it's a mate sister to Fast Lane at Colson's.
Well, one here from the Alderson crew that is bred very, very good, and those of that color and that ear set have been extremely hard to find this go around, in my opinion. That one there looks like he's got the right kind of look, and he's got a big arm in him. He's got a good back shape. Looks like one that balances and can go and uses his feet and legs correctly. I think that one's got a neat window, or a neat future ahead of him, and probably has a wide window. It looks like one that can maybe be pushed, and if you need to go into one of them earlier shows, or maybe has enough just density to him, you can leave him around for a minute as well. But real good one there from the Alderson firm. Thanks, Doug, for bringing that one.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be 4M Show Pigs. That's Mikey DuBois and his family there. Mikey's was one I invited to the first syndicate last year. He said I'm going to be honest. He said the stage you did that you put together and the group you put together, he just wasn't confident enough in them, and that's perfectly fine. That's a decision I respect. And he said I'm going to come this year if I have a pair that I'm confident in, and I'm very pleased with the breed hogs that he bought here. Tag 57 is the Chester, 58 is a Poland marked Barra there. So 57 is going to be a big screen, custom made. The litter mate to that Barra or that male at North Beach South the other weekend brings 7,500, and then 58 is going to be Van Wilder on ADR. So that's going to be a spot on a Poland sow, and if you follow that firm at all, the Polands have done very, very well for him. The mom was 5th overall at Texas Elite in her gilt, or had a 5th overall at Texas Elite in her gilt litter. 57's a Chester, 58's a Poland mark one.
Yeah, a pair of Barras out here that I think they're very, very elite. Looks like a pair that once you're watching here online or in person, you don't have to message to get a video because you can just see them in person finally. I think that this Chester here is one that we got out last night. Thought was very, very good. good headed, good tailed, heavy structured. Looks like he's going to be a one that's got as my cohort says, a wide feeding window. The spot-ish one over there is another one that looks awfully neat as well. Just kind of depends on what kind of color pattern you want to end up with on where this one shows. But hip design and tail set and still his elevation up front look like a very, very good pair of males here. Whether you want to keep them and jump them or cut them and show them, a good pair here that Mikey did.
Alrighty, next up is going to be Harkey Farms. Our good friends Robbie and Keith, and again, a consignor that we had for the first time last year. And I fed a couple bears from Harkey over the last couple years. We win a couple county shows around here with some of our families that we work very closely with, and very pleased at how those things feed. And again, if you follow that firm, it doesn't really matter if they're purebreds or crossbreds alike, whether it's gilt or bears, regardless. Those things feed, they get along well. Robbie and Keith, we're very glad to have them. We get the better brother this time. He comes to this sale every time. Robbie stays home, so we get Keith, and he likes to have a good time, and these things are good. So this is going to be 51. This will be a Poland. It's going to be Hundy on Novel Concept. Hundy's going to be the boar that foot raised there, sells to Beeman for $100,000. Tag 51.
We're glad Keith's here, and even happier that Robbie's not. And I think the Poland one they first drop in here is a neat pig once again. I think one muscle's never going to be a problem, bone's never going to be a problem. Just put that one on feed and let him rock and roll and do his thing. And I think that one feeds extremely well into March there. Nice Poland bear there to start us off with. Obviously backed by one that certainly Foot had a lot of faith in and bred a bunch too there as well that he raised. And I think one that's awfully good.
Alrighty, the next one in here is going to be tag 52, again from Harkey Farms. That's going to be a Duroc male. That's going to be 312, which is a Wintex boar that Laird bought there, and one that has kind of been the talk of the sale season in terms of red ones. So that's going to be tag 52 from Harkey Farm. Be 312 on No Idea. No Idea is a boar that he had there at their house for a little while. Tag 52.
Neat kind of red bear here that's extra dense and flexible and got the right kind of look from the side. Thing uses his hip and hind leg exceptionally well, and as Matt said, those 312s have been extremely good. Looking forward to seeing how them things continue and as they feed, because they've looked like awfully good feeding prospects early, just like this one here that Harkey brings us.
And then lastly, the remaining trio from Harkey Farms is going to be tag 53. That's going to be a Colossus on Otis. So some of their own blood there that again, there's one thing you can respect whenever a breeder taps into their own sows and their own bloodlines and has confidence in them to breed a bunch of their sows to them and they get along, that'd be what we have represented here. Tag 53 will be a Colossus Otis.
Got a little spotted show pig here that maybe just not one to cooperate quite as well, but certainly one we can just take home and feed and pour the coals to, and one that is never going to get in a bind from a weight standpoint with you. But he looks like one that's got a bright future. He's square, he's built right, got a good rib cage laid into him, got a big noggin, looks like one that's got a chance. Once again, another nice spotted bear there from the Harkey firm.
Harkey did say you can double the hammer and put that thing back on his mama for a week.
He said he has a sow on the trailer, I guess. He put a fairing crate in there. Alrighty, next in will be Foot Farms. Jason Foot right down the road from the guys we just spoke about. And one over the last couple years or year or so has been one that we respect quite a bit. And he did all the gear for Syndicate, the hats and the koozies and everything that you see the kids and families around ringside that we have wearing. He's been from the very beginning. He's supported the sale. He committed from the beginning and said, I'm going to bring good ones. And he does it every time. And obviously, as dominant or the most dominant in the polling game as anybody in the entire country. There's more boars, and whether they're directly raised by him or at a stud somewhere else that are out of sows that come from his bloodlines and everything that he does. So this one's going to be a very popular one. Is tag 9. That'll be Hundy, again the $100,000 boar that he raised on gang signs. It's out of all due respect Slittermate's sister. So very, very deep blood here. Tag 9, Poland male.
Matt, you said one word there that I think very much represents Jason Foote, and that is committed. Committed to this breed, committed to making good pigs, committed to trying. Needs to probably be committed to an asylum for having as many Poland sows as he does. But man, when he brings these things out and out of these certain sows, and obviously ones that have this kind of track record on the bottom side, I would strongly encourage you to check this thing out. And these other ones that he's got too, obviously everybody everywhere, regardless of if you're on the Poland board or not, you've tried to tie into these pigs because he's got some of the best ones. So I think this is a very, very good pig. You better check this one out in the back.
Alrighty, the next one in here is going to be tag number 10. That's going to be a spot male again from Foote Farms, and that's going to be actually kind of a dirty spot there. So it'll be ragweed, Waterberg, loudmouth. That'll be What a Spot's littermate sister there on the bottom side will be the mother of this one. And again, ragweed's going to be a board that Foote's got there at his place, and I think he kind of had a picture of ragweed that went viral as he's trying to eat Cody Holloway's lunch just the other week. And if you've seen that thing in person, he's not one that wants to get out of his pen. Jason said he's not the most fun thing to collect, but he's certainly a unique one. And off of that crazy picture, he said he's gotten more phone calls for the UC athleticism that board portrays. So tag 10, this would be a ragweed, Waterberg, loudmouth from Foote Farms.
Well, and just like you said, if a pig's going to eat Cody Holloway's lunch, they're going to get full real quick. So this pig here is one I think is absolutely out of this world, and obviously Jason Foote's not scared to take risks and swing for the fence. And this one, if you read back and study this one's pedigree, you're gonna dang sure see that there was some risk taken. And when you swing and it hits and you connect, man, you can get some real neat stuff. And this is one of them I think fits that. That's a real exotic little show pig right there. Round body, choke necked, and still square from behind up high. So a neat pig here. My hat's off to Foote on swinging for this one.
Alrighty, then to round out that trio, again, this will be tag 11 coming in. Another Poland male there from Foote Farm. This is going to be Hundy. Again, talked about him enough, but on a shag carpet. Mother's going to be, mother's inner circle at Laird's aunt. The grandmother is ADR's grandmother. So, again, deep Poland blood that runs 3-4 generations deep of all of Foote's stuff. A smaller one, but one I think is very good, tag 11.
One of the smallest one of this trio that Foote's got, and looks like he's one of those that, and Foote will tell you that some of these things can stretch and feed just a little longer, and sometimes they need it just to kind of chill out and then let everything kind of fit together. This one looks like he needs to feed on into March, and I think that thing will be very, very good, regardless if it's in Texas or up north. I think that this is another one that's, out of that Hundy deal, it looks, when we saw him at Beeman's open house thing, that thing is way, way out there and very exotic for this breed. This one's another one that fits the bill on swinging for the fence. It's a very good little Poland pig you might want to go check out in the back.
Alrighty, the next consigner in is going to be Byers Farms, and obviously Todd's sitting right here next to me, and one that a guy that's become a great friend and somebody that we respect a great deal, and obviously everything that he's done I think speaks for himself. Again, regardless if it's the Chesters or white crossbreds or dark crossbreds, it doesn't matter. Obviously one of the most competitive families in terms of showing them, feeding them, and getting them presented and selling boards all across the country. He only brought one to us. Thankfully, the way the weekends kind of fell this year, he couldn't normally make it. He has his tent sale there that got kind of moved up. So this will be tag 66, the single entry from Byers Farm. It would be Shame on Me, which is the Moyer board there on a life sentence wedding night.
Yeah, pedigree-wise, if you can hear lots and lots of neat things that Lackey and Moyer and all them have gotten tied into this. On the top and bottom side of this one's pedigree, and on paper it looks like it should work, and regardless of what you see on paper, when you see the pig, man, it sure did work. That thing is awesome-headed, elevated, loose spine, and still very flexible and heavy-structured, regardless if he's got if he brought 1, 10, or 20. If we're in Comfort, if we're in Abernathy, that's a very good show pig. Hats off. You better go check this one out in the back. I think this one's got a big feeding window. Looks like he's got some extra wild pieces that I think you can win a lot of big shows with. Very good pig here. Good job, B. You done good.
Be all right. That'd be pretty sweet. That's exactly right. All righty, next one in. Go ahead, open the gate there, Braden. The next consigner in here is going to be Biggs. Everyone knows Biggs, and I think the most popular thing he likes to do is just scream on the side of the ring, and that's what we kind of recognize him for. But yeah, you're right. The second most popular thing. Eating is the most popular thing. But he brought a pair of them with us, and again, because of the way the weekends fall, we were able to get him down here this year, and he's been about as excited and texting me the most frequently about the pair of pigs that he brought, especially this white one. We were in Fort Worth there last week for the symposium with Mock Livestock, and man, I got the same story over and over again about how the litter was, how this pig looked, and how impressed he was, and he was just excited to get him out here, get him under the big lights on the stage. So this will be tag 68. Smoke, again, the white boar from Lackey there at Laird's on full send. Guns Up's mate's sister. Mom raised a $30,000 boar pig at PT last year, and this one's mate brother sells for $5,000.
Biggsy's obviously a very good buddy of mine, and I was excited that he brought this pig. At the same time, I was a little disappointed. He was supposed to put him in his online sale a couple weeks ago, and I saw this thing at the house and had in my mind at that time that's one we were going to try to get because I think that one's awfully good. Excited he shows up here and he's for sale because I think that one for his breed and for his color is probably as good as any that we've seen and any that he's brought out. I think that's a very neat show pig there that's bred extremely good both sides. I think one that can be very competitive wherever you want to go with him.
All righty, the next one from Biggs is going to be tag number 69. So Jason Campbell, wherever you are on ringside, I'd pay attention here. Tag 69 is in the ring. This is going to be a Trick Daddy tell all full send from Biggs Farms. This will be a second entry, tag 69.
This one will actually be the skinny brother, the couple he sold here a couple weeks ago down here in the hill country and got along extremely well with. Got some very good homes, and I think this pig follows suit. That one is Biggs' speed right there in terms of density and body and muscle and shape. I think that's what you expect when you buy a Biggs pig, and I think that one feeds very well. If you're looking for one that's pretty versatile and where you might want to show him when it's all said and done, I think he fits that bill extremely well because I think you can push or you can go slow, whichever way he fits. But a very high quality dark crossbred show pig from the Biggs firm.
All righty, the next one here is going to be Wintex Farms, and we've got kind of some bets rolling as if she is or is not going to jump the fence and get loose in the crowd here, which I actually wouldn't mind. It'd be kind of a cool thing to see. But this will be tag 16. We are extremely pumped to have Wintex in the house, and again, because of the way sales worked out, he's down here, and we've kind of supported each other on weekends the last couple of years, being head-to-head, but all the way across the state. Both of our sales have gone along just fine. Obviously, the Wintex crew needs no introduction to competitive livestock, whether it's cattle or pigs. And his Berkshire programs, obviously, I've extremely highlighted that. So this will be tag 16. Top it off is a boar there at Laird's. It's been extremely popular on a just a bit outside mom.
Will brings us an awfully good Berkshire female here, and just that just a bit outside's mom there on the bottom. We actually fed a couple out of that boar last year that fed extremely good, and I think this one looks like those. I mean, that thing is extra dense and extra burly, and yet she's still loose. I mean, that thing's skull and the way she comes at you, get on top of her skeleton, that one's awfully good. That one's going to make a real good San Antonio Breeding Guild or Kerrville or wherever she ends up. Back in the sow lot at that point in time, wherever all that works. That's a very good Berkshire female. Look in on that one when she gets back there to the back.
I need a, let's see, Taylor, what kid's back there that can come run this camera? Austin Bulls, perfect. Can you come run this camera for me, please? You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. Alrighty, next in is going to be Jarrett Foote and Dwight there, JDF Farms. He brought a pair of them, and again, he's one that we called last year, a little bit later, a little bit closer to sale time. He sent us 3 of them and wasn't able to make it down, but as soon as the sale was over, he hit us up immediately and said, man, I'm so pleased, and all I heard from my dad was how the sale was run, and he was happy to be here. He looked forward to this year. And again, another young guy, which if you follow it along with the reason that I put this sale on and what my kind of goal was, is this is it right here. I wanted to get a younger firm and a younger group of guys to be right across the aisle from the biggest names in the business. I think we've been successful at that and give those guys a shot. And he's made a name for himself with an extremely successful year, about as hot as anybody, no matter what ring or what show or what stage we were on this past year. This will be tag 41 and 42, a pair of littermate Chester males. It'll be 46 litters. It's going to be Big Sky, perfect fit. The Grandma raised Lily Cooper's reserve champion Chester there at the Bear Show in 21.
Yeah, JDF is dang sure a firm on the rise, and outside of my compadre here raising these Chesters, they're about as hot and consistent and making these things good as anybody. Evident by the pair that we got out here, pair that's very square built and still immature looking, and look like that they got a wide feeding window. We fed that, got a chance to feed that pig of Lily's there a couple years ago there at San Antonio. That thing didn't take a whole lot of effort. We just tried to keep him alive and make him eat, and he did the rest. And a lot of these pigs that come from this farm seem to be that way. So I encourage you to check these things out in the back. They're good hogs. They look like they're honest, good looking and good moving. Good little Chester pigs. My congrats to the JDF crew here.
All righty, real quick, make sure I've got Matt Forts and that crew behind me in the food trailer over here. They got a food truck, so if y'all want to grab yourself something to eat, do that. I've got Kylie, our bartender, over there under the Cimarron tent, the D&D bar. Make sure you tip your bartender. They've got pretty much a full bar over there. But the next one in here is going to be M&S Livestock. That's going to be McKillop and Seidenberger. And what's that? We'll do the trailer raffle right before the sale starts. M&S Livestock is, again, Jacob McKillock and I have quite a bit of history there. We were college roommates there at Connors judging livestock, and I'm sure we both have an endless amount of stories that we can tell that probably wouldn't be so pleasant. But last year I called him, again, kind of late to the sale, and told him, I need you to bring a pair if you can get some ready. He brought me 2 pigs that were the smallest ones in the sale, but probably the neatest ones, and both of them were received well. They fed well by good families, and went on to place at various shows. He's kind of new to raising them himself, but has obviously the most experience, whether he's a Yankee, he's a Texas transplant, and we can appreciate that. That's the smartest thing he's ever done, is come to Texas. This will be tag 39, be 16 litter, be quite frankly Quitting Time, King of the Hill, Grandma's reserve at LSU in 20, and his maternal sis reserve at LSU in 19 the previous year. So tag 39 is in the ring now.
Certainly Jacob and Big O are doing a very good job. They've gathered up a few gilts here last couple of years and starting to raise these things, and they are doing very, very good. They're playing in the right kind of females, and I think you're going to see the fruits of their labor here as we study this pair. I think a pair that are very, very neat. This is a stout-headed one that is built right. He's got the right kind of look and the right kind of proportions. That's a very, very neat kind of show bear that's got a very bright upside. Congratulations to those two. I think that's a very, very nice kind of pig we got on screen here right now. Once again, that one's, quite frankly, Quitting Time M&S show pigs.
All righty, the next one in here is going to be tag number 40. That's going to be a littermate, again, from M&S Livestock. Another one that I know I heard a lot of noise about through text messages from Jacob. Be, again, another 16 litter male, quite frankly, Quitting Time, King of the Hill from M&S.
Littermate comes in, and that one's probably even more exotic looking up front in terms of just jaw shape and height of shoulder and where that thing's neck attaches, and yet he's still got a bendy forearm and a good knee in him up front. That's another one that looks like he's got a bright window, or a bright future and a big window in terms of where he may end up. Another good one there from the M&S firm.
Alrighty, next in is going to be Allen Farms, and a new consignor to the Syndicate, but obviously someone that's been in this business a while and has a lot of success at the highest levels, and he's got a piece of them over the last few years. He's going to be tagged 61 in the ring now. It'd be littermate males. He brought a pair of littermates, but tag 61, be a baby daddy, another round from Allen Farms.
Yeah, Matt and Curry have done a very good job over many years. This one looks to be evident of that success in terms of just heaviness of structure, just having the right kind of look from the side. Another one is still very dense when you get on top of him. A neat little pig here. I think you just go check this one out in the back. I think is extra heavy duty and boned and still got a sharp look. Nice pig here from Matt and Curry Allen.
Another one in here again. This will be a litter mate coming in from Allen Farms, tag 62. This is going to be Baby Daddy, another round.
Baby Daddy, you hear that around sometimes, and one that has the right kind of look in terms of pliability to his top line and good body and still heavy duty and stout. Looks like he goes extremely good coming and going. Stout made pig here. Matt and Curry Allen, go check this pair out in the back.
Where'd Zach Wysoon go? You're supposed to be working my gate, dude. Next group in here, obviously extremely good friends of ours and obviously the previous consignor. This is going to be Underdog Genetics. Mason Garner there, another one from the very beginning. Whenever before I even started the Syndicate and the other sales I used to put on, he would come down and bring us good pigs, and these things always fed. He's obviously had as much success as any with bears and gilts alike. They show them, they feed them, and they raise good ones. Have a boar stud there that has had some of the hotter boars in the last few years in their respective breeds. But this will be tag 59. This is going to be a Duroc male. This is going to be Teardrop Bomb Squad. The dam was a champion Duroc 5 times in her show career and had 2 top 5 barrels last year out of that litter. We're going to address something with the sale order later. We're going to swap these tag numbers in the sale order. But right now in the ring from Underdogs, and we tag 59 Duroc male.
Mason brings us a nice pair in the red one that we drop in first here. That's a short-bodied, good-ribbed one there that uses his hind leg well. Still got a neat look up front. Got some stoutness about his skull. You know, a red one there, I think, from a pedigree standpoint. Go back into that bomb squad stuff, and those things are always so good bodied and just so loose and pliable. I think this one represents that extremely well. Neat kind of bear there to show sometime in February, if I was guessing, but nice kind of Duroc bear.
All right, the second one from Underdog is going to be tag 60. That's going to be a Splurge Next Intentions. This will be a first litter gilt that they purchased from S&K that they'll be retaining all the females out of this litter, and one that they plan to build around in terms of foundation female, one that they're pretty confident in. They've had a farm sale yesterday, and they got along very, very well. And they got here this morning, and like I said, they say that this pair of pigs back, and Mason's been committed to this sale, and I appreciate his commitment and bringing good ones. This will be tag 60 crossbred. This will be a Splurge Next Intention.
That Splurge is an S&K hog there that's at Moyers, and that group of guys that went together and bought that thing, I think, know a thing or two about pigs, and I think that boar's done an extremely good job. I think that one's once again got a good hip and hind leg, little sunshine, little bit of feed. I think that one feeds extremely good because that one's got the right kind of proportions. He's got the right kind of build. Nice kind of show barrel.
Alrighty, the next firm in here obviously needs absolutely no introduction. It's Brockman Farms, and again, I'll say it a bunch, but I genuinely appreciate it, and I can't thank everybody enough that supported this deal from the beginning. But Kerry and Josh, they brought us pigs from the beginning. They bought pigs out of this sale, fed pigs out of the sale, and this year brought us a pair of them that I think are as good as anything they've ever brought us, and they're going to be received very, very well. So the male is going to be tagged 79. That's going to be a Kingdom Man, My Intention, Believe in Me. The mom is a first litter gilt that they're very confident in, and then the grandma is a mate to the Grand Bear at San Antonio in 21, which obviously everyone remembers that thing, and it was pretty elite in that one's show career. The gilt there, an elite female opportunity to tap into, is going to be tag 80. In the Woods, My Intention, Cruel Intentions. Also a first litter gilt. The grandma raised a reserve cross here in Houston in 2022.
Yeah, for sure, an elite pair that are out here, and obviously the eliteness is evident by Caden's interest in these two pigs right now. The score, I think, Caden, is A&M winning, Caden? They're not right now? No comment, he says. regardless of the score, the pigs that are in the ring right now, I think, have got some very, very neat opportunities. Obviously, the gilt, as you get into some of these firms that do this for a living, it's hard to get some of these gilts to be offered because their livelihood and obviously going down the road and in the future is invested in these females. And for some of these breeders to allow the opportunity to purchase some of them, it says something in itself on what they think the quality of these things are. The male there on the far side is one that's obviously very, very neat, elevated and stout, proportional and heavy duty. Another one that's obviously backed by generations of planning and programming. They've had as much success as anybody in the world, and obviously evident by their passion in line breeding and making these things neat. I think that one's another one that's got some very neat opportunities in him as well. So congratulations to the Brockman firm, a very good pair here.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be IDK, and I assume that's going to be tag 45. And Jess and Nick there with IDK Genetics. Again, a firm that just started a few years ago, but opened up a boar stud with Endgame, and obviously, again, another firm that tapped into some elite genetics from some of the better firms in the entire country to place some females, and they kind of just tapped into those, built around those females, and kind of made their own lines now, and it's pretty nice to see the fact that they've kind of reaped the rewards and bet on themselves. This will be tag 45 from IDK. It's going to be a say win next, Rule 21. The mom's a $55,000 Canal gilt and is a mate to the Grand Bear there at Houston in 2022.
Well, the IDK firm certainly done an extremely good job. Neighbors and ours up the road there just a little bit, but certainly known for making pigs, and in my opinion, that look like this in terms of this, just their proportions. Ones that's tall-shouldered, got a neat look. They're good in their top line. Their feet and legs bend the right way. I think one that just looks like they got a good chance to just continue and grow and do the right things. I think a neat pig here to start us off to represent their firm. One that's backed by a good pedigree once again as well. I think a very high-quality show pig there from the IDK firm.
Alrighty, the next one here from IDK is going to be brought in. That's going to be tag 46. That'll be another say win, obviously, a boar there that comes from their own stuff. And bend the knee on the bottom side. Again, another one that's had a lot of success. And here recently, even earlier today, a couple of those pigs that sold extremely high had bend the knee there on the bottom side of that pedigree. And if you follow along with what's been going on in this pig business, and obviously there's so many elite firms that do so many things very, very well. But like I said, to reiterate, whenever you bet on yourself and you take your own genetics and you just roll with it and you ride that wave and trust what you've got going, that's extremely impressive whenever you have the most success. But this will be a say win, bend the knee. Full sibs and blood to our $5,000 lead-off at the farm sale and the $4,500 lead-off at the opener.
Well, as we just talked with that last one, same one, same kind of pattern and same kind of general build. And once again, something that those things are just consistently good at doing. That one's even that much more extended ahead of his blade. As you look at him from the side, really good in terms of his tail set and the way he uses his hind leg. Another one in that dark crossbred division come March. Could be very, very competitive. Another good one from IDK.
Okay, Rival Genetics here is going to come in next, and again, Shannon Tatum and that family, again, obviously is no stranger to success, whether you're in the gilt ring or bear ring. They've been with us from the beginning. They've brought pigs every year. They've fed from pigs out of here, and the pigs that they've brought have gone on to feed, been successful. Again, no matter what level it's at, whether it's county shows or major bear shows, gilt shows, their leadoff is going to be tag 25. This is going to be a Faith Alone, which is that Brockman boar there. On a blind side, Here I Am, which is on Izzy. So again, if you follow their pedigree, they name a couple of their pretty influential sows, and Izzy will be the great grandmother to this bear. The second litter for this blindside female, she's a littermate sister to the mother of our high seller that they had at the IDK's farm sale. Tag 25.
This is the part of the preview that I'm not a fan of because I got this pig out last night, and this was actually one of my favorites, and I need to kind of talk him down so nobody else will like him to buy him, but I don't figure that's fair to Tato. We actually, to be completely honest, I bought one out of this one's mother's littermate sister last night, and absolutely love that one. And when they told me that this one was out of a littermate, the mothers were littermates, it made me like this one even better. This is one of my favorites in this sale. I think it's extra dense, square, good looking, good built. I like that pig. I kind of wish he would got sick or something. I didn't get to sell him, but one of my favorites definitely here in the ring here from Rival Genetics.
Alrighty, this next one from Rival will be tag 26, a crinkle-eared male here, and again, one that I like quite a bit whenever we get them out last night. This is going to be a Here I Am. It's another Brockman board there, and on a Wicked Izzy again. The first litter for the Wicked Gilt. Izzy's one of the foundation key females there at Rival. They bought from Heimer a few years ago. They've been building around, obviously, as evident whenever she's a grandmother in that previous male. So Here I Am, Wicked Izzy, tag 26 from Rival.
Yeah, a little crinkle ear deal makes is one of those that I've always been a big fan still of these ones with the crinkle ears. Kind of remind me of wrestlers, look like they're mean and tough. This one obviously looks like he's still fighting it. One that's extra, still big-armed and still opened up, sharp-looking. Thing looks like he can go for a while, and he's got a big feeding window, as Todd says. I think this is another one that looks awfully, awfully neat when you get him out here in the middle of this ring out here. So I don't know what tag number that is. What tag number is he again? 26 is this one's tag number. I recommend you guys go checking these Rival pigs out in the back.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be CC Show Pigs. That'll be the Homan brothers there from right around the corner. This is their neck of the woods. Chris and Chuck there have come, again, good friends of ours, and I started putting on a live sale a few years ago. We've only been raising pigs for about 7 years, and our second year in, we kind of tried to do the live sale thing whenever we started the Breeder's Choice back then, and Chris was a local breeder close to us that we wanted to kind of have him a chance to showcase some stuff, and boy, in the last couple of years especially, I don't know exactly how many sows he started with or how many sows he's at, but I know it's more than tripled the number of females and the number of litters that he's had in there. He's had the Reserve Grand at Houston, a bunch of banner hangers in the Barra deal, regardless of breed. He's bought some boars, sold some boars, and put in, like I said, a very good set of elite females. And this one's going to be representative of that firm pretty well, because I like this one a good deal. This will be tag 14. This will be the LTBB board. That's the Let the Beat build. If you don't know what that is, and you raise show pigs and you like good white ones, you need to hunt down the Wysoon brothers that are around here. The out-of-state guys probably haven't heard of them. The in-state guys, I know buyers, and the one sitting right next to me, that's as good as a white boar as I've ever seen that they've got there at their house. I was fortunate enough to have a litter out of them and was very, very pleased. So LTBB on the third overall York Gilt, so a purebred female on the bottom side. She was third overall Texas Elite last year, and the dam was LTBB on the third overall York Gilt Texas Elite, tag 14 from CC Show Pigs.
Well, as Matt said, that Let the Beat build boar's done an extremely good job. We had a litter of those things at our house that I was very, very proud of, and anxious to see how them things feed. And I think this one here comes to us with some very intriguing and wild pieces as you study him. I think one that's extremely unique ahead of his blade in terms of his height, his shoulder, and bend of his shoulder, but yet where his neck attaches is all very good. He's rolled up, and yet he's got a round body shape, comes at you good, got big, dense, hairy legs. That's a unique-looking white one that the C-Bar C firms brought us. I think a very, very neat one to represent them.
All righty, the next one in here is going to be Homan's second pig there. This will be tag 15. This will be a next intention side piece end game. The end game grandma raised the Reserve Dark Cross there at Houston in 22. Again, he might be not the best colored one, but a very neat pig. Whenever I got him out last night, I figured this one can definitely be one that feed. Tag 15, next intention, side piece.
Well, everybody loves a calico, and I think one that, once again, sired by a boar that needs no introduction to what he's done within the show pig industry. I think one that represents his sire extremely well. one that, is dense and rolled up. He's got good body shape once again. He proportions right. His feet and legs point the right direction. One, like you said, no matter what color he is, one that's going to be competitive. Neat kind of red-belted bear there to go ahead and round out Holman's group or pair of pigs that he brought.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be D2 Livestock. That'll be Josh Diaz and his family, and again, another one that's not too far from here. This is his neck of the woods, and one that's kind of tapped into a whole bunch of Linder's genetics in the last couple of years, and by God, I think he's felt the reward of that investment, and definitely accepts that decision because it's done very, very well from him. Me and Josh go way back again to the Breeders' Choice deal, and I definitely say we've come a long way. And this pair of pigs is I think the best, or as good as Josh has brought to me, and he's come. He was a first-year consigner last year. Again, another guy that brought some of them last year. They got along. They were received well. They fed well from good families. And just want to say thanks to Josh for being committed and getting these things dialed in. So tag 74 is going to be the Berkshire male there. That's going to be top shelf Waterberg. On the mom is a top 5 gilt there at San Antonio. And then the crossbred, the belted one there is going to be tag 75. That's going to be a Smoke Shug. Smoke Shug, and the mother's littermate to the sow that raised the reserve cross there at San Antonio in 23.
A pair of bears that are out here, a pair of males that obviously when you hear how these things are bred and all of the success from both sides of the pedigree on both of these pigs, you should expect big things. And then you look at the pigs, I think they're very, very immature and they're very sharp looking hogs that have got great mobility and still good shape. Like I said, the way that these things are bred, it looks like everything's supposed to go right, and then you get a chance to look at them, and they kind of match how they're bred. So I think a very, very neat pair here. The Berkshire hog is very unique in terms of his elevation, his jawline, and still his presence is very neat. And then the chromed up bear over here is one that's big, big-chested, elevated, and square-backed. Some very, very neat things to work with in both these pigs out here. I suggest you go check these things out in the back.
Thanks for working my gate, Bradley. I appreciate it. What are friends for? Alrighty, Cole Farms is... Alrighty, next in here is going to be Cole Farms. Troy Cole here again, right down the road. And this might be one of the smaller pigs here, but that doesn't bother me one bit. Troy was a first-year consigner last year, another one that's tapped in way deep. And before he started raising sows, just a year before last, I guess, he's had about as much experience as placing, buying, and feeding pigs through himself, through the Linder crew. I know he's been responsible or tied to a lot of big-time barrow winners that he's rolled with. And so I'm very pleased that he was able to get this one saved back. Obviously, one that has to read a little bit more future in him. But he asked me, he said, man, is this thing too small? And I was like, man, I don't think so, not one bit. He's obviously a little bit smaller, but whenever you read the future into that one and what he brings to the table, it's going to be just fine. This will be tag 24. This will be a pace car, Shug, never before. This will be a gilt litter. Obviously comes from the Linder crew. The grandma is a staple in the Linder sow firm. Has put over 15 bears in the sale at Texas Majors. That's one of our best bears. That was one of the best bears they fed last fall. Was a mate to this sow, out of that sow sister. And Pace Car's obviously the Hilty boar, that tricked out son there. That's done a very good job.
Well, Troy's jumped off in this deal and done a very good job, and obviously, this, as Matt read there, the Sow family's been extremely good to the Lindner crew, and I think one here that I think has had some very unique pieces, I guess, as you study one that's got that kind of density to his legs and stoutness to his skull, but yet his neck attachment is really good, his length of hip is really good, and the bend to his hind leg is exceptional. I think a very high-quality show pig that I think you can just put on feed, let rock and roll, and show here come Houston, come Austin time frame. I think a very nice kind of belted show pig from the Cole firm.
Yeah, another one that Troy said that you can double the hammer and put that thing back on his mama for a month.
Alrighty, the next firm in here is one that I can't say enough good things about. The Linder crew, obviously, this is their backyard. But Luke and Fallon, whenever I decided to jump off and do the Syndicate sale just a couple of years ago in this very building, obviously being in this neck of the woods, it'd be a no-brainer not to ask Luke. And we really didn't know each other that well. Didn't have that good of a relationship other than just kind of passing each other in the aisles at Bear shows. But from the very beginning, he said, man, if it's in the hill country, I'm going to bring you good ones. I'll have people there. I'll promote it as hard as I can. It'll do me good. It'll do you good. And, man, a man of his word, if I can say the least. So, Luke, I don't know where you're at exactly, but I just can't say thank you enough because these pigs here are going to be as good of a set he's ever brought. And that's speaking definitely a lot of volume because last year he brought us the reserve champion crossbred at San Antonio there, the Blue Barra. That was purchased out of the Syndicate. That thing was fed very well. It was received very well. And, again, you know, Luke and Jason both, every time I go to the farm sale, every time I talk to them about pigs or whatever it is, it's how's the Syndicate going? How's it getting lined out? What do you need? What can I do to help it out? And Fallon and Luke and that whole crew has been the most supportive, and I can't thank them enough from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of me and Taylor's heart. So thank you a bunch, Luke. There's all three of them are in here. Tag 63, girls, can you help me point them out? It's okay. Fallon's on tag 63. So that's going to be a 45 litter. If you were there earlier today, the biggest thing we need to say is that's going to be a litter mate to the $120,000 boar pig that they just sold at Kings of the Hill. We got all these things out, and that was obviously one that stood out, but we really didn't have a favorite. Kevin and I talked and just said, man, we need to just get all these things out together. They're all extremely, extremely good. So tag 63, Fallon is on. That's going to be a next intention, never before. Litter mate to the leadoff at Kings, obviously brings 120. The mom raised a reserve division 2 barra there at San Antonio, and then the mom raised a grand at Kendall County. So 63 is a 45 litter. 64, which one do we got there? Far side, perfect. So 64 is going to be Smoke Another. If you follow Linder Firm this sale season, Smoke Another has pretty much swept their entire herd in terms of Luke just diving in and putting as much trust and as much faith as any, which if you follow that firm, that's pretty much what he does with the boar he likes each time. That's going to be a Smoke Another never before. The Smoke Another is a full sib to the Grand at Houston in 22, raised by Canal. The sow raised the Supreme at Texas Elite in 22. That was shown by the Burns family who were here. The mate brother brought $12,000 at night sale, and the other mate brother is, mate to our $10,000 King's Gilt. So tag 65 will be the other one. That's going to be a 77 litter. It's going to be a Smoke Another, Hold My Beer 71. The grandma of that one is No Moss's sister. From Linder Farm, 63, 64, and 65.
Yeah, obviously the Littner deal is synonymous with this part of the world, and this is the house they built. I mean, this barn is one that they obviously are hard to get around in and anywhere anymore. Had the number one CTBR breeder last year, and donated the foundation gilt that we bought. Wins the gilt show there, San Antonio. I mean, everywhere you show up, you better come ready to rumble because this crew is on fire. And in this trio out here, you can pick your poison on where you want to go or what you need. It doesn't really matter. I think all three of these are good. Get in early, get in often, get you a Linder Show pig bought tonight.
I don't want to forget to give Landon a good shout out. Landon's been here tending to pigs while obviously everything's going on at Kings, and thank him quite a bunch. But again, I'll reiterate it one more time. The Linder crew's been committed to this deal from the beginning. Lets you promote the Syndicate there at his farm sales, and all three of these pigs are very, very good. All three of us that got them out last night have a different favorite, so to each your own, and I think you're all going to be just fine. Linder crew 63, 64, and 65. Go ahead, Braden. All righty. The next group in here is going to be Night Show Pigs, Cameron Knight. Again, I think especially in the last couple of weeks, I don't know that I've seen maybe other than one other person have about as impressive as a sale set, an impressive set of pigs. And the way those things look on Facebook whenever Cameron posts them, it's just like every single time I tell my wife, holy crap, did you see this thing? Like, no way it looks like that in real life. And then you get there and you see him in person, regardless of what pig it is and regardless of what sow it's out of. Cameron builds them the way he likes them. He kind of just dives off every single time, and he swings for the fence. But my God, it hits all the time. He brings us pigs every single year. They get received every single year. He has these things dialed into the nines. He had an absolutely incredible farm sale. He had an absolutely incredible lender farm sale season. These things are going to feed. And whenever he told me that he was bringing a set of gilts here, I couldn't be more pumped because especially the trajectory that he's on is extremely upward. That's the only direction he's going to go, and it's going to continue to get better. And to say it's going to be better than these is extremely impressive. So tag 72, I believe is going to be the chromed up belted gilt there. That's going to be a smoke another, tricked out. The dam's a mate to the Kai Blanche Reserve Dark at San Antonio this year, which if you didn't see that pig, you needed to. That was one of the most impressive ones we saw this spring. And the mate was lead off in his farm sale. The mate to that gilt was lead off in his farm sale last week. That was extremely well received. So 72 will be the more traditionally belted gilt. Tag 73 is going to be a buckle up, which is obviously the extremely popular board there at Laird's on a No Moss 151 sow that Luke raised behind me. The only mate gilt that's going to sell out of that litter, and it is a mate to his King's Board pig that he just sold a few hours ago. And another mate brought $15,000 in the farm sale. So Cameron, I can't say thanks enough. I appreciate it. These things look very good.
Well, Camo brings us a really good pair here, and ditto everything Matt said. It's one of those things you like to see young people succeed, and we're glad Camo's finally come out of Tad's shadow here. But I think a very, very nice pair, and he's doing a very good job there in shallow water. He brings us a nice pair of gilts. Make sure you get your hands up early. Keep them held up high. We don't want to hurt Camo's average the way it's been going the last few weeks. But a very nice pair of gilts.
Alrighty, the next group in here, we're going to bring all three of them in here, and that's going to be Canesi Show Pigs. Another guy that's obviously right around the corner here, and has had as much success in minor breeds as anyone in the country. At one point it was just a Chester deal, but it really just kind of depends that whatever he decides to make, whatever he decides to kind of dive off in, it works out. And I'm extremely proud for him. I'm happy to have him here. Again, another one that from the beginning of the syndicate has brought good ones that have fed, they've been received well. And Russell, I'm just happy these things have actually seen a human being before today. I'm extremely pumped. They all look very, very good. So tag 54 is going to be the Berkshire male there. That's going to be his lead off. That's going to be a top it off. Again, the boar at Laird's on a family jewel sow. The dam was reserved Burt gilt at San Antonio just a few years ago. Tag 55 is going to be the Chester male. That's going to be a big screen, which is obviously another boar there at Laird's. That's going to be a custom-made deadlock. And that dam's first litter, that's the dam's first litter, a female that they're going to build around, and the Grand Dam raised a champion Chester there at Denver, and they're keeping two mate boars to keep on feed and hopefully get one of those into production in the coming months. But tag 56 will be the Poland male. That's going to be Hundy. Again, the $100,000 boar that Foot sells there to Beeman on an all due respect, Sal. Dam was the 4th overall Poland at San Antonio a couple years ago, and then the Dam's mate brothers were champion at San Antonio, and there was also 2 cell makers out of that same litter. So again, an extremely deep trio. Whatever breed you're looking for, there's something for everyone. But regardless of what you're looking for, they're all very, very good. 54, 55, 56 Canesi Show Pigs.
My apologies, Matt. I was checking the score. Did you say these were litter mates, or they're different breeds? Okay. The Berkshire Hog, obviously, with Canesi, you're going to get a lot of passion. Obviously, he's very committed to making each of these breeds, and obviously all the pigs. He's going to put his heart and soul into this thing, and this Berkshire deal has been very good, and obviously the Chester thing's been very good to him. But this Poland is another one that I think's very special looking. Thing looks like he's got some real wild pieces, I guess is the cool thing to say now about pigs. But all three of these pigs, I think, have got very good windows to feed into. They look like they're high-quality pigs. They've been brushed and oiled and look like they're not near as wild as some of the stuff that Russell brings out to the sale. So you're already ahead of the game with a lot of these pigs, and I think all three of them for their respected breeds I think have got a chance to be extremely competitive. The Berkshire Hog over there is very sharp-looking and proportional. Chester's round-bodied and extra heavy-duty, and then that Poland's elevated and sharp-looking. So pick your breed that you want, buy you Canesi Show Pig. I think you'll be satisfied.
Alrighty, the next firm in is going to be Stork. Stork Livestock there making. He's a first-year consigner, and obviously, if you haven't heard the name, you kind of been living under a rock. It doesn't matter whether he's raising goats or show pigs. They're going to be successful. They're going to feed. He's going to help you along the way, and he's one of the more knowledgeable guys that we've kind of come across in this business, and someone that I tried to get into the last second last year. But he told me, I can't make it work, but I'll dang sure put it on the map. And I met him kind of through Kevin, going to these goat sales and working with D&D. And, man, that's a relationship that I greatly appreciate. He brought us a pair of red ones that he texted me the other day, right before I came here. He said, I really think that the best red one he's ever raised is going to be here today. We're going to sell them at the Syndicate. And he told me he's going to bring good ones. He said, I don't bring them if I don't like them, and I like both of these. Me and Kevin got them out, looked at them hard. So which one is tag 35 there, girls? Brentley's on the tag 35 in the pink shirt. That's going to be a 16-liter to be a statement day, bury my bones, deal with it. And then tag 36, Taylor there is going to be on. That's going to be a good talk, holy.
Macon's another one. He's a very good buddy of ours, and, he drove off into this red thing there a couple years ago and is doing an extremely good job, and he brings us a nice pair here, and I would agree with Matt and with Macon. This leadoff pig is very, very intriguing. That is a very neat fronted red one that is stout but yet slick looking. He's got a big arm. He's got a big, dense, useful hind leg. He's long hipped. For one in that particular breed, he's not jacked up where they're typically jacked up. I think that's a very, very neat show pig. The other one's real round bodied, neat looking as well. Really good in terms of his feet and legs. I think a very neat pair. Macon brought us. Goat guy or not, that's a good pair of red show bears.
Alrighty, the next group in here, again, don't want to be repetitive, but it's a fact. There's no introduction across the country, no matter what major bear show, big state fair, Bears, Gilts, it doesn't matter. Team Sloan, Troy and Alicia here, and they're first-year consigners. Again, thankfully, with Kings coming down and the whole schedule of pig sales this fall kind of moving, we were able to tap into some other consigners, and we hit them up early. And I've been talking to Troy a little bit. Again, I think I met him at PT maybe, with hooking up with Blake Kennedy and Todd and Kennedy Ventures and D&D's partnership. Made a lot of friends, a lot of relationships through that sale and that partnership that I greatly appreciate. And whenever he said yes, he was going to make it work, I couldn't have been more excited. I remember running to the house and telling Taylor, like, holy crap, it's going to be good. And whenever he got him here, I was extremely, extremely pleased. So tag 29 is going to be the one closest to the camera there. That's going to be the kind of belly belted one, more traditionally belted. That's going to be Glory Days, Believe in Me. And then tag 30 will be the more chromed up, the wider belted one there. That's going to be quite frankly, on a lackey sow, is all it says. But again, if you follow the Sloan firm, these things are going to feed. We got them out over and over again. We got them out last night twice, got them out this morning a couple of times. I've ran them to them from their wash rack today, and I'm very, very pleased. And so I think you need to tie in here, pay attention to what you're looking at, because these are very good pigs. 29 and 30 from Sloan.
A pair of hogs here from AC and Sloan, and obviously when you go look at their pigs or see them at a sale or whatever, you're going to get as honest of an appraisal, and won't be anybody that's harder on their own stock than what Troy is, and the reason being has got them to the level that they're at, and you're going to see hogs that are elevated and sharp looking and well built, and then obviously those things are built for speed, and I think both of this pair represent that extremely well. The wider belted one's probably just a shot more elevated, harder backed, and then that other one's extra heavy duty and dense, and a pair that obviously fit into the rest of their sets that they always bring out and show people and offer for sale. They go on and feed extremely well for the family. So another pair that I think represent a firm that's dang sure been on top for a while and on top for good reason. Both these two hogs I think are very special. Go check out these Sloan pigs in the back.
Thanks, AC. Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be HF Genetics. So Cassidy and Jimmy Hayes, again, good friends of ours, and a guy that's had a lot of success. Again, another one that's kind of tapped into his own stuff and taken his own route and paved his own path in terms of the boars that he's put into production and trusting in that process. The sows that he believes in, and most of his stuff is from his own genetic lines, and it's something we can respect. And it doesn't matter what species you're in; that's something we can respect. But he just brings us a single entry here, a guy that's been involved in the syndicate from the very beginning. He was involved with the Breeders' Choice back in the day, and actually brought our highest seller back then. So tag 67 is going to be a spotted male here that I'm very, very high on personally. This is going to be a 70 litter. He'll be a Talk to Me times change. Talk to Me is going to be the boar there at Top Cut. That has been one of the more popular boars this sale season. Extremely impressive pigs out of him. Times Change is our good buddies Wysoons. Give them a shout out. That boar is still at Mason Garner's there at Underdog Genetics, and I think as winning as a boar, especially in Texas, Barra's Gilts doesn't matter. Talk to Me Times Change. The mother of this one, that Times Change female, is going to be the Reserve Supreme at Texas Elite in 22, and one of the most unique spot females I've ever seen.
Well, Cassidy brings us a nice spotted show pig here, and I think one that for those that are interested could have some versatility and maybe what you wanted to make that one to fit whatever needs you want. But certainly one that's bendy and good-bodied. He's got shape. He's got muscle. His proportions work extremely well. As kind of went through him there earlier and stuff, this was one that Will told me in the back was his favorite. And as he went through, and I think one that comes out certainly looks the part. Very nice spotted show pig from Cassidy.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be from True Genetics, and Brian Roderball and Ryan Thwaites there, and obviously, my day job is selling trailers at D&D there, and me and my wife are fortunate enough that we trade trailers every year and we sell them, and Ryan and the True crew actually just bought the trailer that I pulled for the previous year, and that's kind of how I got to meet them, other than being at King's, and we got to kind of build a relationship over that selling process and getting what he wants to make sure everything was kosher. And again, with King's, I can't thank Mark enough for working with us in terms of scale and weekends, because I think it's going to be very, very good. But Tag 19 is going to be the leadoff there from True Genetics. That'll be the belted one. That's going to be a Hangman, which is a buyer board there that's housed at Upper Hand Genetics, sells at PT. And then it's the King sow. So the mom is a full sib to the champion in Division 2 and 5th out cross gilt at the Indiana State Fair. And then tag number 20 is going to be the solid white one. That's going to be a top shelf, which is a Sloan boar that's held at Platts as well on a purebred Yorkshire sow. Time's up. And the mom was third overall gilt at the 2022 Indiana State Fair. So a very good pair of pigs from True Genetics.
Yeah, Brian's a homie of mine. I think a pair of pigs that he's got out here, obviously with this white one that he's on, for that breed, that color, whatever, if it all should stay white like it's supposed to, that one's special looking in terms of his head and his elevation. That thing's gear and range of motion is awesome. That one looks like he's a good feeding one that probably needs to be looked at for a wide range of shows. It looks like that thing's got lots and lots of upside. Chromed up one over here that Taylor's on is another one I think fits the bill too. That thing's good-headed and still good-hipped and still athletic and good-bodied. Another one looks like he fits into a wider feeding window, maybe on what you're able to do with that one. A very good pair of True Genetics pigs that are in the ring now. I suggest you go visit with Brian back in the back. I think another firm that's been elite for a while, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
Alrighty, the next one in here is going to be Trace Amigos and Justin Rodyball and that crew, and that's a guy that we met, again, going to some of these bigger sales, and one that I'm extremely thankful that decided to be a part of this deal while he was already down in here in the hill country. This is going to be their leadoff. This is going to be tag 17. This would be a quite frankly kingpin. The mom is a $40,000 bred sow that they purchased there from Hilty. Tag 17.
Well, the Trace crew's obviously been on an incredible run in terms of what they've been able to accomplish, and hogs like this, although maybe out of a Hilti bred sow there, I think one that is extremely good and comes from two firms essentially that have had a ton of success. The off-belted hog out here is tall-fronted, neat-looking, got a stout arm and a stout mug laid into him. That's a very high-quality show bear to show into February for those guys there. Neat kind of pig to start us off with their pair.
All right, the next one from the Trace crew there is going to be tag 18. This will be a red Duroc male. It's going to be a Stay in Your Lane, which is a purple power boar that has had a pretty good run. I believe won Expo a few years ago on a creation sow. The mom is a mate to Trace at Wintex, and the third out gilt at San Antonio this year. So tag 18 from Trace Amigos will be Stay in Your Lane creation.
Once again, a very, very neat red one. It looks like we've got a very good set of red ones to sell here this evening, and one that certainly surfaces towards the top end of that, just in terms of look and presence and body shape and shape. One that's built right extremely well, or built right there at the ground. I think a very neat kind of show pig, once again, from the Trace firm there, backed by a genetic package that's certainly very good. Neat kind of red show pig.
Showmanship starts at home.
Alrighty, the next group in here is GNS, Garrett Sproul, and that whole crew there from Ohio. And again, another firm that's going to be a first-year consigner. They're trying to wrangle them up there in the back. This is going to be tagged. Let's see, which tag number is that? David. 12. Tag 12 is going to be in the ring there now. That's going to be a heavy hitter, next to nothing. That's going to be a gilt litter out of a good sow line they're going to tie into and try and build around. The GNS crew has done about as much as any across the country in terms of building elite show hogs. Crossbreds obviously are primarily putting boars and studs at firms all across the country, winning barrow shows and classes and divisions and breeds on the biggest stages. So again, this will be tag 12. There's going to be the more chromed up male there. That's going to be a heavy hitter, next to nothing. And then the more traditionally belted one, or the off-belted one, is going to be tag 13 from GNS. That'll be a picture of this, best kept secret on the King's Mom, and the dam raises the reserve light dark cross at Houston, and the 5th overall gilt at the Ohio State Fair. So I'm not sure where Garrett's at, but I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, the pair of GNS hogs here that look like they've got some growth to them and look like they've got maybe a head start on some of the other ones in the back. But from a size perspective, it looks like they when you get them, if you don't decide to jump them and want to make the bears out of these, look like that they're built to hold in terms of just width and stoutness at the ground. They still got muscle in them and still hogs that in the center part of their skeleton and their bones. It looks like they got time to stay around for a while. Just need to relax. A pair of hogs, like I said, that the GNS crew is dang sure being that's helpful. A pair of hogs up here that look like they'll be easy to feed and just kind of keep them rolling and keep them healthy. Look like a nice pair to go check out in the back. I'd suggest that you go visit with Garrett about genetics and just pedigrees on these things, on where they fit better. A good pair here from GNS Swine.
got a slip and slide over there on the entry now because of the hose getting a little wild, but that's all right. The next crew in here is Leto Show Pigs, and again, some of these sales that we've been invited to over the past few years, whether it be Lackey Farm Sale or meeting them at PT and hanging out in the casino, Nick Berry and Ty Leto and that whole crew is one that we've become pretty cool with, and I was extremely excited to, again, be able to tap into another consignor that was already down here in the Hill Country, get a new consignor in here, and to bring a set of pigs that they were very proud of. They brought them here early. They told us to take care of them. Obviously, they were busy right down the road, but we've got tag 27. Brinley, which one is that? Alrighty, the one closest to the fence here is going to be tag 27. That's going to be a roll with it. That's a roll call boar. Roll call was raised by Goss here in the house, and that's a roll call boar son there that's at SGI. So roll with it, king size from Leto is going to be tag 27. And then the other one, the more traditionally belted male there is going to be tag 28. Be a 22 litter. That's going to be a My Intention. Obviously, the Brockman boar on a Provoke sow. So 27 and 28 from Leto Show Pigs.
Well, the Leto firm certainly synonymous with winning barra shows, gilt shows all across the country, and it doesn't matter what breed it is, and they bring us a pair of crossbreds here that certainly solidify that, and I think a pair that are dense skeleton, they're hogs that are square built, their hogs have the right kind of proportions. As you study them from the side, look like they've got a good opportunity to continue and feed well, be very competitive when the time comes. I think a pair of greener bodied hogs, maybe potentially, but ones that, like I said, are stout at the ground, they're square built, they're good in their skeleton, ones you can take home, put on feed, and they just continue to do nothing but continue and grow and get better. Nice pair from the Leto firm.
Alrighty, the next firm in here is Schwecky Genetics, and I'm not sure where Zach's running around at, but again, another guy that we've met over the last couple of years and actually just purchased a trailer from us, or from me personally, that we kind of spent a couple months or weeks designing there, and actually got delivered over here in the corner against the wall, and I think one that obviously everyone needs to check out, but someone that committed to it pretty early on, said he had absolutely no issues bringing pigs here and was excited to be involved, and he brought a pair of them here. Tag 31 is going to be the one that Brinley's on, I believe. That's going to be the off-belted male there. That's going to be a buckle up, best kept secret. That sow is going to be one they're very proud of and lays in as a foundation female. And then like tag 32, also another buckle up. That's going to be a dirty secret female. The dam of the Philip Hamp Barra in San Antonio in 2020, and the mother of the Bam Bam boar that stands there at Lackey's.
Everybody likes different kinds of pigs, and everybody likes to buy from different kinds of people. But I can tell you wholeheartedly that I think that this dude is as solid of a human being as that's in this building. And I know that from time to time, obviously, people go through ups and downs raising livestock, and I don't think that this guy, the quality of person that this guy is ever going to waver. And regardless of that, I think the pigs that he brought, I think, are nice pigs. I think they're elevated and they're stout, sharp looking, and got muscle. I would suggest you visit with him on the south side of these things and where he thinks they fit in, because I can assure you he's going to give you an honest appraisal on where he thinks they need to go, and the dude's probably not going to be far off. So a pair of hogs out here, a heavy-duty one here in this the narrow belt, the off-belted one, and then one that's extra elevated and still heavy structured on that wide-belted one. So a good pair here. Go back and find Zach in the back. I think that he'll, like I said, he'll tell you where he thinks they need to fit in, and that dude ain't going to miss far.
Alrighty, the next firm in here, obviously, again, regardless of what state you're in, or East Coast, West Coast, or any part of the country, is a name that's a household name. Boars, Bears, Gilts, it doesn't matter. Bobo Farms is a new first-year consignor to the Syndicate. Again, another one we were excited to get tapped in and was on a pretty short list. We got to meet Bobo and Ben, and I talked and had quite a few drinks from there at Lackey's there in Haskell, Texas, and a very good dude and one that I respect quite a bit. and again, developed a relationship over the last couple of years. I'm happy to have him here. I'm glad that we were able to work it out, and he'll have a pair of them here. So tag 70, really, is that the one you're on? Nope, tag 70 is going to be the belted pig towards the back of the ring. That's going to be a Messiah Dirty. These are going to be litter mate male, so there'll be litter 63 Barris. Tag 70 is going to be, again, the one that's more traditionally belted, and tag 71 from Bobo Farms is going to be the more thinner belted Barris. So Bobo Farms, happy to have you here. Ben, thanks for coming. Messiah Dirty, a pair of litter mate males.
Well, the Bobo crew certainly does an incredible job, not only raising ones to win shows, but winning shows themselves, and certainly a crew that knows what it takes to get it done. They bring us a pair of hogs here that represent their firm extremely well, just in terms of density and just skeletal build, body shape, hogs that are never going to run out of power and never going to run out of muscle. I think a very neat pair. The one that's leading off there, a little more elevated, a little slicker looking. The other one there, it's more unique colored there, I guess, is just really, really short-bodied. Really good in terms of just his body shape and the mass that he has. Really good pair to feed into March. I think Ben's brought a good pair.
Alrighty, next in is, again, about as hot as a firm as anything in the country, and had about the most ridiculous run, I guess is the best way to explain it, in terms of sale season, in terms of boars and barras and winning major shows. It doesn't really matter. The Knauf crew's in the house, and Kyle Knauf and Ellen and that whole firm. We're happy to have him here, another first-year consignor to the Syndicate. We tried to get him here last year and just couldn't justify it or make it work, but at the very beginning of the year, about in February, he said, hey, I want to come down, and this is what I want to do. I want to be involved, and I couldn't appreciate his commitment enough. So he brought a pair of litter mates here, tag 80 or litter 85, but tag 21 and tag 22. Be a heavy hitter hall pass. Be the best tag heavy hitter at hall pass. Be tag 21 and tag 22 from Canal.
I was awarded the opportunity to bring these pigs over, so if these win, I'm claiming them that I'd at least haul them over here to the pig sale. Canoe, whatever the heck you call him. Obviously, they've been on a tear and they do a great job. What? I hauled y'all's too. Yeah, I'm gonna claim them. I think that when you get into this program, obviously you're going to get generational expertise as far as how far back in the pedigree and stuff that they've had a plan and what they've wanted to do. These two pigs, I think, can fit into that testament. And anywhere that you go, that you see these guys selling stuff, you're gonna get some of the best of the best. And Canoe's been over here, Dinkster, working with these pigs and getting them ready to sell. And like some of these other crews that we've just had here coming in the ring, and some of the ones coming, they've been over here hustling, making sure that these things are filled up and they look right, and these things are presented extremely well. The belted one over here that's good jawed and square pin. This wide belted one's very, very athletic and loose moving. Like I said, in them other guys with some of these other firms, just go back and visit with him. He is socially awkward, so if he doesn't complete a sentence, don't think nothing of it. Just talk him through it, and he'll tell you what he thinks on where these pigs need to go. He means well; it just comes out weird. This is a good pair of Canoe pigs here. I think a very, very elite pair that he's got to offer.
Alrighty, the next crew in here is going to be Goss Livestock, and Blake is somebody that, again, I've met over the last couple of years at PT and Lackey Sales up there in the spring, and we've got bears on feed from him this year for State Fair of Texas. He's someone that an opinion I respect a great deal, and I'll send him videos of pigs and see what he has to think. And Blake, he likes to get pretty wild, which I can totally relate to. But one thing I can always assure you is that Blake's going to shoot me straight. whether it's good, bad, or ugly, he's going to give it an honest opinion. And I'm extremely pumped to have him in here this year. You know, Blake's had a pretty tough day so far. It hadn't gone that great. But I think it's going to get better from here on out. Just kidding. He's had an incredible day at Kings of the Hill. We're pumped for him. That was the first thing I did, is shoot him a text and say, man, I just hope you're standing up whenever you get in here. So we found him a chair. He's good so far. He's got a pair of them here. The Burke's going to be the lead off. The Burke male is going to be tagged 43. That's a 73 litter. That's a Cub Scout top shelf. And black male there is going to be tagged 44. It's a strictly business proposal. Obviously a firm that has absolutely dominated in terms of every breed. Him and Kendall and the Burke deal have obviously absolutely killed it. I don't know that there's a guy that has won more banners and hung more banners at multiple state fairs with pigs that he's fed and run more crews all across the country. So Goss Livestock 43 and 44.
Well, Blake brings us a pair here, and obviously different flavors there, but I think a pair that feed extremely good. Blake would love to visit with you about him. I think you meet him here at the chair over by the bar. One of the two or the other. I think he'd love to visit with you about him. I think a very, very good pair there. Maybe he can up his average today with this pair that he sells tonight.
Alrighty, the next crew in here is going to be Pell Livestock. Corey Pell is one that, again, was a first-year consigner last year, and we called there a little late and brought a few of them to the sale. They were received very well. They were dialed in a quick amount of time, and they were fed by some of our families and sold out of this sale, obviously, and got along at Houston there. A very good set of pigs, and some that I've heard about through Snapchat and text messages for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I've got these three set aside, and I pushed everyone away from them, and these are the ones he brought us. So tag 4 is going to be, let's see, which one is tags 4, girls? Tag 4 is going to be the belted one there. That's going to be an Endgame Trenches JoJo. The mom wins 8 shows in Colorado, and we won that they build around in terms of sow families. Tag 5 is going to be the white male there. That's going to be Smoke, back on track on Ice's sister. Comes from an incredible litter of pigs. That's the one that they saved for this sale. That's the best male in that litter. One that, again, they've had to take a stick and beat a few people off of them just to keep them here and bring them to this sale, and so we greatly appreciate. And then tag 6 is going to be Endgame Trenches again, the other litter mate male. That mom wins 8 shows in Colorado and a female that they're going to build around.
Obviously, some success behind each of these hogs, like Matt just discussed, and a little white one here that looks like he's got a long time. You can show that pig. A belted one as he goes across right there. He's got a great silhouette. He's elevated and still good moving. And then a target butted one here that's extra heavy duty. You just got to pick them how you like them and get them on a program and get them shown. So 3 different ones out here for Pell. Go check them things out in the back and see what they think they need to end up showing at.
Alrighty, the next group in here is going to be Wysoon Brothers Show Pigs, and man, we're about as blessed as we can be because Jake Wysoon is in the house, and if you know Zach and Marty, they're about the lesser of the 3 brothers. Everyone loves Jake quite a bit more, but just kidding. We love the Wysoon boys, and we're very, very good friends with them, and if you follow their firm at all, in the last few years, they've been about as dominant in terms of the white game as you can be. And again, whenever I talked about earlier, is the guys that that put all the chips on their own hand, the guys that bet on themselves and that just have a plan, they stick to it. They try to make a run at the white game. They've done it very, very well. They've got LTBB, they've got Rio Bravo, and they tapped into increasing an extremely set of facilities this year, an extremely good set of boars, and have just really dove into it and had a lot of success across multiple breeds. But Wysoon Brothers have brought us a trio of litter mates, 48, 49, and 50. Braden, that's a litter mate. Let that one in. Katie, you need to come in here and jump on the whip on this belted one. So 48, 49, and 50. These will be next intentions. White Noise. White Noise is going to be Let the Beat Build sister. Again, if you heard me talk about Let the Beat Build earlier, that's going to be the best white boar I've ever seen, and one that, in terms of white pigs, siring ability for this sale season has been as good as any. The sow was a champion blue at Texas Elite this year that was shown by the Seidenberger family, a top 5 mate bearer, Texas Majors. Grandma is our number one sow that they sold the board a foot from this spring for $18,000. He's got on feed there and should be introducing here pretty soon. And the mates look extremely good to that boar pig for the state fair litter. So again, some of our best friends, tag 48, 49, and 50 litter mates. Next intention, White Noise, which is LTBB's sister.
Well, if you're going to be competitive in the white deal in the state of Texas, the Wysoon boys are always a good place to start. They do an incredible job, and these pigs' mama was one of the better ones, and one of my favorite ones that we saw all last winter. She was solid white, and she was the champion light cross here at Kerrville that Owen showed, and I think she did extremely well. Kind of got a package of Skittles here in terms of color from that particular litter, but I think a set of hogs that all represent themselves extremely well. That white one's extra dense and burly and neat looking, got a good hind leg laid in him. The Calico's looks like one that can feed for a while. His build is good. His proportions are extremely good. The belted one's extra heavy duty in his skeleton and got a stout mug. I think 3 very nice pigs the Wysoon brothers brought us here this evening.
Alrighty, the next crew that rolls in here is going to be Impact Livestock. That's going to be Ian and Chalmers Schaefer and Benson and Mac, and the whole family is worth announcing, because Mac and Benson are the ones that break these things, and Chalmers is the one that keeps Ian in line. But Ian and I go way back in terms of Connors, livestock judging, and we were college roommates, and a very, very good friend. A guy's opinion that even whenever we were freshmen in Connors and junior college, an opinion I respected in terms of livestock reading ability. He knows what good ones are, and obviously married into an extremely great family that regardless of what species they dive into, they just know what good ones are, know how to feed them, and know how to win. And last year, Ian and Chalmers really just dove in and created their own brand, which is Impact. They got their own set of sows and really just tapped into it. And by God, the last year they had an extremely successful first litter of selling pigs, showing pigs, put boars in stud out of this sale. There's a boar that sold here that's in stud there at Underdog Genetics that Mason Garner bought, and we'll talk about it a little bit later before the sale starts. But one of my best friends, he brings a pair of them. This is going to be the lead off. This will be tag 34. This will be a quite frankly next intention. The mother had the mate that wins the class at Houston in 2022. And the one that just rolled in there is going to be tag 33. That'll be a next intention, full sends on Gunned Up Sister, the mother's Cupcake, which is one of their foundation females there. And then obviously raise a herd boar that's at Homans and a herd boar at Garner's. The cell maker that are in the top 5 at Houston as well. So Impact Livestock, tag 34 and 33.
Good friends and good people out here at this with this Impact crew out here. I think a good pair of males out here that represent a similar pattern in terms of a program and what they're trying to build. I'm honest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little partial to the one that he's on. That's actually as far as the sow line goes. That one's mother's a litter mate to the mother of Biggs's white one that was just out here. So the Secret Society back on Guns Up Sister, some of the better stuff that we've offered, and then both these two firms come by little gilts and then dang sure run with it. Both of them firms have kept raised boars out of those sows, and then I think the next litter as you continue on looks like that they're better. Look like they're better and going in a great direction. I like that pig quite a bit. I think that's a special one in terms of presence and heaviness of structure and athleticism. And then the little one that's also out here, I think fits the bill too in terms of look and style and design and gear. I think a very good pair of bears here, or a very good pair of pigs here from Impact. Go check them two things out in the back.
Alrighty, the last and final set here is going to be this set from us, from my wife and Parker and my in-laws Deborah and Jim, and this will be the Empty Heart Cruise 2 lots. This will be tag 7 and 8. Tag 7 will be the solid white male there. That's going to be in Let the Beat build, Wham Tarantino. That Wham Tarantino female is one that we bought from 8,000 from our good friends FG Genetics, Johnny and Trey Flores. She got along incredibly well in terms of jackpot success and at Texas Elite as well. One that we actually leased as a baby pig. That sow we leased as a baby pig and took us all year long to try and be able to buy her. That's one of the very, very, very best pigs that we raised. We sold the Crip at Next Gen last week that was received extremely well. It was the highest seller there. And then Let the Beat build, obviously, as I've said before, is the best white boar that I've ever seen, and one that the Wysoon's boys house there, and one that we're very good on. And tag 8 is going to be the belted one, 99 Problems, Saved by Grace, long story. 99 Problems boar is a Tres Amigos boar that Foot Farms buys there, Kings of the Hill last year, and has been extremely popular this fall. The Saved by Grace long story sow we buy from Ian Schaefer last year in the spring. She shows one time at Jim Wells County, wins it, and goes straight to the sow pen. This is her first litter, and a litter of pigs that we're extremely high on. So tag 7 is a white male, tag 8 is the belted one.
Well, Matt and Taylor certainly been doing an incredible job, and I think not only from putting on this type of event and what Matt's thought that's gone into this and how he's represented it and done well. He certainly saved a pair for his sale here that are extremely good, and a white one that comes out here that's very short backed, very round bodied, stout structured, got a neat look, runs uphill, got a lot of neat things about him, and a belted one that's got a neat silhouette as well. Goes away extremely good. I think obviously a firm that puts a lot of effort into it, and certainly one that's going to be very, very rewarded for that effort that they put in. I think they do an exceptional job. It's been an incredible set of pigs as we watch them go across the block here tonight. Look forward to what they're going to bring here later. Make sure you guys step back there, take a look at each and every one of them. Good pair here to finish us off. Thank you, Matt, once again for putting on such a good event.
Alrighty, so that'll conclude the preview. We're going to start selling these things at promptly 7 o'clock. That's their plan. You'll have online bidding at CCi.Live through Kennedy Ventures. If you have not gotten a buyer's number, please do so. Please do so right behind me. We've had some questions asked. If you registered to be a buyer at Kings of the Hill, is it the same here? No, it is not. You do need to register again. Throw that buyer number away. Get a new one here. Completely trash it. We do not want to mix up. That'll be a pretty big deal. So trash the buyers over from earlier in the day. Get a new one here right behind me with Kate Blunt. She'll be checking you in, registering you. There's sale orders behind us. Feel free to go back in the pins and kick any of the pigs out. All the consigners are going to be around. We're going to spray everything down, reset, and be ready to roll at 7 o'clock. Bar is open. Food truck is behind me. If you have any questions, please find myself, Kevin Mock, Megan Mock, or Matt Forts in the